Hi everyone, welcome back to Return of the Nerd. Now you may or may not have heard. I say we as in my girlfriend and I, we have no money. We went bankrupt because we got scammed. Last week my girlfriend she fell foul to a online scam, and like all of the money that was in our bank accounts, and I'm like not talking about just one bank account because we have a lot of different accounts. We run like different businesses. Everything was wiped out, and I've spent the last week just being numb. I can't feel anything.
What are those for?
Huh? Oh, it's just this stupid thing.
So I haven't sold. Like, I literally haven't done any selling at all. I just completely stopped. And we're in kind of, not in panic mode. Like, I think we're both pretty good at, like, coping with crises because of our age. You know, both of us are in our 50s and we've had lots of life experiences and we've had our ups and downs and stuff together. So we'll get through this, okay? Nothing's gonna stop us now. Whoa, whoa. Most of you are too young to know what I'm singing. So yeah, I just spent like a whole week not even being able to look at my girlfriend in the eye, and just talking to her and just looking the other way, like, don't make eye contact. I haven't looked at her face for like a week, and then today finally we sat down, we had a chat, and we talked about how we're gonna move forward, how we're gonna like recoup the money. I have to now not do a pre-order service. I have to do a prepay service, right? There's a difference. So my clients, if you want to remain with me and buy from me, you need to pay up front, and that's the only way I can do it. So I'm gonna have to cut down the amount that I order from the wholesalers, because before my business model was I would take a risk based on my confidence. Okay, the Purge Trooper's coming up, Tibidon Station, Kenobi's coming up. How many cases do you think you can sell, right? So a lot of it's about confidence and knowing the market and understanding customer. So I would kind of project in my mind, okay, I need 50 cases, whatever. And the wholesaler would tell me if that number was available or not, because you know they like to cut people's orders. And Hasbro are not very good at distribution, so they're kind of...
Please disperse! Nothing to see here!
That was what I did in the past, and I was pretty good at it. Like, for example, that Walgreens clone trooper this year was like my top seller. A Walgreens exclusive was my top selling figure for my store, because I had the demand I knew was like really high, and everybody else couldn't get hold of them, so I just kept ordering cases upon cases of them, and I was really confident in my ability to sell them. But now I can't do that anymore because all my cash flow has been just taken away from me. So the only way now I'm even able to order from my suppliers is if my clients pay me first. So I know it's a big change and it's a bit of a shock, but it's the only thing I can do given the circumstances to try to get back on my feet again. And so what will happen is I will have to promise that the due date, like the customers need to know when that figure will drop, when I can ship it to them, okay? So there's like no nonsense, no bullshit here. Because with the pre-order system, we know how that tends to sometimes kind of promise something. They promise what they can't deliver, and then collectors get mad. But with this system, it's like you pay me first, then I know exactly how many cases I need to buy of that specific item. And I'm not going to use your money unless I'm 100% satisfied that my wholesaler can have that figure, and he needs to tell me specifically when it will be available so I can release it to you. Okay, because I hate that, it's almost like a social contract, you know, where like it's just based on it's like a gentleman's agreement. It's just based on a promise. Like, okay, I will get it, and I think that it will be available on January the 15th. And it's like, well, come on. If I'm going to pay you up front, I'm going to need more reassurance than that. So, like, you guys who've been following me for the last year, you know how I'm really open about my business transactions, and yeah, so that's the system we're going to operate now. I actually got the chance to buy the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, the 6-inch on the card back, which is weird because, like, and I was watching a Luke Ness Monsters video recently, and he was like, how come the Gamorrean Guard and the Boba Fett are deluxe 6-inch Black Series figures and they're on card backs? Like, that usually doesn't happen, right? They don't give you deluxes, so I feel we're quite fortunate to get those two, but the price point's very high, and also the timing is terrible. My wholesaler said to me, look, here's the price, and they will arrive in Taiwan on January the 15th. Like, this is a fact. You'll get them on this day. How many do you need? And I just said, I have no money, I've been scammed, and even if I did have money, I probably would not order any, because, you know, that figure has already started being released overseas. It's in shops already on shelves, and to be honest, most people already have that Boba Fett, so I think that the market for this particular card back is not that big anyway. So the ones that I'm focusing on for my business now are just the ones, like I said before, that are like crazy hot, like this year, the Walgreens, the 1/8/7 Clone Trooper, and like the Purge Trooper. I'm only gonna sell the super hot ones. If there are exclusives from conventions and nobody else has them, then of course I'm gonna sell them. But I'm gonna need money up front, okay? Right, so that's that. Let me just move past that, and let's go on to the news, because there's been a few reveals this week. It was Bring Home the Galaxy. It was the last one on Tuesday, and we had some TVC reveals, and we had a couple of Black Series reveals. Let's just do TVC first. We got another Clone Trooper, so he's the same as this guy here. I'm pretty sure identical mold. It's just, we've been getting a lot of these, haven't we? But just with different paint schemes. So we've been getting, there's 3 of them from the Rancor Battalion. Let me just check my list. So it's, the new one is Blitz, and we can also get Havoc and Colt as well. So I think those 3 are going to be very popular. I know, like with the Battlefront Clone Trooper that I just showed you, those ones were very hard, and I like all of these ARC Troopers. Are very nostalgic for the Clone Wars generation, and they just like will definitely fly off shelves, especially TVC. You know, like, they're nice. I think the figures are nice for TVC. I don't know, the card backs are a bit, you know. I think that Hasbro, you can improve on when you have a release of an ARC Trooper. I think you can do better with the design, the pictures on the front for the card backs for sure. Okay, but yeah, I'm loving the figures themselves. They're awesome. So then we got these 2 new Boba Fetts, right? They're both exclusives. I think Target and Walmart. One of them is called the Vintage Comic Book, and the other one is called like Comic Art Edition. So they're both based on versions of Boba in comic books, and I think this is good because it's not all good. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna get round to, because there's been some shit talking on social media. Some people absolutely hate these. They're like, oh my god, not again, not more Bobas. This is the same mold. I can't take it. Yeah, but in the Black Series, we had the publishing line, right, and that's gone down really well, really well. And that, instead of getting carbonized figures, which I know that most people absolutely hate, they hate them. So I'm hoping that in TVC that the carbonized are no more. Like, just kill that line, please, stop it. And yeah, instead let's have these comic book TVC figures. I think, and the main appeal, again, it's not with the TVC, you know, it's not really the figure itself. I think it's the card back. So when I saw the two figures, I was like, bloody hell, like I really want that, but not because of the actual figure inside. I didn't want to open it. I was like, I just love the graphics on the front of the card back. That's so nostalgic and so freaking cool. And that's why I want to get it for my collection. So I think that they will sell pretty well. But I do have sympathy for other people who are saying like, come on, Hasbro, like this is just a repack, this is just a repaint. One guy even said, are you sure this is from the comic book? It looks like a Funko Pop. So all kinds of like weird and funny comments on social media. So yeah, but don't worry, it's like, again, they are exclusives. They're not mainline TVC characters, so we're going to get lots of new stuff as well. You know, recently, was it Bosk's Bounty? He was talking about that latest wave of TVC, and we know that it's come out in Hong Kong, and it's been released very slowly, but everyone's going to get it. I mean, it's like, these Boba Fett's are kind of like, how to say, it's like taking a supplement. It's something extra. We have to see it that way, okay? And it's your choice to buy it. You don't have to if you don't want to. All right. So yeah. So we've got the ARC Trooper Blitz. He looks really cool. And we've got the two Bobas. And then, like, turning our attention to the Black Series, Scorch was like the really big reveal, and we knew that he was going to come because he's the fourth one and the last one for Delta Squad. And it's kind of weird that you've got the first three in the window packaging, right? The plastic packaging, and then the last one is windowless, which is kind of weird, but okay. He does look good. The paint scheme is really nice, and I just was like looking at the Game Republic Commandos, and I was trying to figure out like, what does his backpack do? Because I understand that his rifle has like a grenade launcher on it, which is cool, right? I mean, who wouldn't want that on their weapon, a grenade launcher? But his backpack obviously has some kind of specialized function, but I don't know what it is. So in the comment section, if you've played that video game and you know all about, you know, Fixer and Boss and those guys, like, what are their specific talents? Because I know they're like super special ops, and they go on these missions that other regular ARC troopers have failed. And I know that they were also in, like, I think just like one tiny story arc in the Clone Wars animation, and they were also in people forget this, but Scorch was in Bad Batch last year in season 1, right? So he was in season 1, and he gets zapped by is it Tech? Because they don't want to kill their fellow brothers, so he's like, set for stun, and he just like zaps them. So I'm not sure, will Scorch make an appearance in the Bad Batch season 2, or will any of the other Republic commanders, did they survive the Clone Wars? Not sure, but that's kind of interesting, right? So that was a good reveal, and so again, he could be one that I would say, okay, you guys pay up front, this is exactly how much it's going to cost, plus shipping, everything. And then I'm going to order it from my supplier, and this is when you're going to get it. You know, I'm going to give you an honest date. The other one was the Gamorrean Guard, which I really like, which I'm definitely buying for myself. Not sure if I will, like, get that for my customers, because, again, he's come out already. I think people have multiples, so I guess if someone... Like, sometimes I have clients who are, like, really big clients. I call them, you know, those completionists who will just bloody buy everything, and they'll come to me and they're like, Gary, I don't just want to get the one item, I want like to buy 15, 16 figures, and that's going to be like 3, maybe 4 boxes that you need to send to me, right? So that's like a super big client, they're very important to me. So for someone like that, they'll probably say, hey, listen, I want the Gamorrean Guard, get it, I want all of those Return of the Jedi card backs, all of them. So I still will offer that service as well to those like individual customers, my big clients, don't worry. And then what else has happened? Yeah, I mean, it's Christmas, so I was hoping to get some holiday figures, but they never showed up in Taiwan. That's a shame. And it's I feel like the holiday figures are gaining momentum. Like every year, Halloween and Christmas, they get more and more popular. So I think Hasbro should definitely continue doing that line. It's good. So the last video I put up on my YouTube channel was like an opening of the Mandalorian, Light Cruiser, Luke Skywalker. Okay, so I just was too. I couldn't keep him in the box any longer. I had to rip him open, and then I also showed everybody my Luke, my vintage Luke from back in the 80s, Return of the Jedi. Kenna! That was quite a popular video, and people were requesting more, so I think that people like my style of video, so I'm just going to keep going and try to do this, like, not full-time, but almost full-time. Okay, so I'll be doing, like, the action figure display, like, on a spinny table, then I'll do, like, a what's in the box review video, and talk about news as well, like I'm doing now for my business. And I really need your support to help me keep going through this. Like, I really am. Over the last week, I just hit rock bottom, because it's so surreal. This whole year for me was going so well. It was such a success. You know, we came out of COVID, and I was like an unknown person. And then recently people are like, oh, Return of the Nerd, yeah, that guy, yeah, he's really good, and he gives good customer service, and I've bought from him a few times, and people are starting to recommend me, and like other YouTubers are like saying nice things about me, and I've got this good relationship going with like people like Yakface, and you know, Luke Ness Monster, Landspeeder Luke, and all these other really cool people who help the community so much. And I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I don't just want to be a YouTuber. I want to help people collect these figures, because it's this problem with distribution and availability is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. Like 2023, it's going to be the same. It might even be harder. All right. So I'm here. I'm still here for you. And yeah. So that's it today. I'm going to open this guy next. This is going to be my next unboxing video. I really want to open Cal Kestis. So I love this game. I've watched the first game. I haven't played it, because my friend is a YouTuber in Taiwan, and he's famous for doing, like, he's a gamer. So we played this when it came out in 2019. And I'm hoping that he can get the Jedi Survivor, like a free sample of the game before like before it comes out for like mainline release, and we can test it out, and that will be really cool. I'll even make a video of it, so that will be, yeah, man. And so if basically if my new business model doesn't work and I can't make it as a YouTuber, I'm gonna detonate this thermal detonator. This is the end, my friends.